our
My
thumbs
thumb is
are the
little.
same size.
I have a little thumb.
Yeah, like a girl.
I can't even.
I'm a girl.
Oh, why you gotta cut me deep? Why you gotta cut me deep? Look at you trying to say I got little girly hands.
I'm just saying they're the same.
It could be a small thumb and not be a girly thumb.
It's as big as my thumb.
You had to see. Look, how am I supposed to continue?
You've been calling me funky the whole video. I say you got a girl thumb. You're cut deep.
Truly, one of the most beautiful and heart-wrenching stories that I know is that of my wife, Jazz. Now, we got married October 20th, 2010. So here, next year, at the time of me recording this, in 2020, that'll make 10 years of us being married. Now, that same year, in April, I'll also be turning 30. I will have been with this woman for a third of my entire life. So, I know some things. And over that time, we've got to know each other in ways that no one else has gotten to know us. We got 4 kids. But I think what's cool is, like, our story doesn't even just start there with marriage. It actually starts all the way back in high school with the friendship. And so it's cool. I got a chance to know her as a friend with no intentions, right? Not trying to do anything. We're in different relationships in high school. And so we just got to know each other as friends. And it's cool how we've transitioned from, graduating and then actually becoming a thing to being married and launching businesses, having kids, all of that, right? But still maintaining that friendship the whole way through the ups, the downs, everything in between. So it's been awesome to actually be her co-pilot through the most exciting times of life, right? As you get, you graduate and you get into your 20s, and now we're about to exit those, you realize all the other years were just preparation for that. And I'm sure I'll say the same about moving on, but it's been a blessing to watch her story unfold, and I'm so excited to see it continue to do that. And I think the poetic, beautiful part of her journey is that she has changed and transformed almost in a way that you would say like a butterfly would, right? Coming out of the cocoon and just becoming a butterfly. But at the same time, she stayed true to who she is, and so there's been this growth and this evolution, but still this aspect of keeping it real.
Since we've been doing YouTube, my biggest area of growth is for sure just my comfort with myself, just being comfortable in my own skin. I grew up around a lot of negativity and emotional and physical abuse, and so I used to worry a lot about what people would have to say about me, or just what people would think of me, or how I looked, or how I talked, or what I said. And I don't feel that way no more. I don't care. Like 7 years ago, I wouldn't have recorded this clip sitting here with no makeup on. It just wouldn't have been a thing. So yeah, I'm definitely just comfortable in my own skin.
Again, this is so beautiful, right? It's almost as if it was scripted by God. One of the first things we kind of related on, or one of the first bonding moments, I guess you could say, was back in high school. One of my favorite movies at the time was Coach Carter, right? It had recently came out. I was a hooper, so it was I just loved Coach Carter. That was my movie. And every time our cable was off, I just watched Coach Carter over and over. And there's a line from that that's actually from one of her favorite poems. And the poem's called something like Our Deepest Fear. And in it, there's a line, I'm about to butcher it, but along the lines of, our deepest fear isn't that we're inadequate, it's that we're powerful beyond measure.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
That was one of the first things we bonded on, and that's something that I feel has remained true in terms of like my perspective on her. And so over the years, you guys have seen us change a lot, like on camera, you know, and we do our best to be transparent and authentic and real. And so that on life transformation is just an extension, right? But it's still just a taste test of the growth and the development we've had off camera, right? And so if you've just been watching us for the years, you've seen her grow. And I think the biggest thing, like the thing that's most noticeable, is when you look back, is just her coming out of her shell or coming out of that cocoon. And again, I've watched this woman do amazing things for years, but if there was one thing that I'm most proud of, it's that in recent years she's really she still ain't really showing y'all what she got, but she is slowly showing who she truly is, what she truly has to offer, and letting her light shine.
My favorite memory of Jazmine was the handcuff challenge video, because my instructions were simple. They were to be as annoying as I possibly could, and I felt like I was pretty good at that. So it was a fun time. I basically try to, like, everything she had to do that day, I try to like delay it, make it a tough task, make it take longer than it had to. I think the best part was probably she was trying to do laundry, and I kept throwing the clothes back in the pile that she was getting them out of. That was hands down probably, it was the funniest moment ever. It was a great time.
You ain't got no clips?
Who ain't got no clips?
She ain't got no clips.
No clips?
Talked all this crap.
All that crap.
And miss no clips?
And miss no clips.
I got clips. You got clips?
I got clips.
I got a few of them actually.
I got 2.
Dang. But you ain't got no clips.
No clip.
You talked all that crap. Where your clips at?
Dion talks more crap than anybody I know. He likes to try to say that, like, I talk more crap now, and if that's the case, it's 100% his fault. If he'd shut up sometimes, we wouldn't have those types of problems. He wouldn't have to deal with my crap talk. He'd just move on with his life and not have to worry about it. There won't ever be a time that I back down from his nonsense. If he's talking too much crap and I run out of things to say, he's catching these hands, and that's just what's gonna happen. Don't believe me? Check out our mobile series.
So I said all that nice stuff about my wife, but fluff her. I will never stop talking crap. It's just part of what we do. We had a friendship, and part of being friends with me is talking crap. I will say this though, she used to be nice and sweet like all the time. That was just her. Now she talk more crap than I do, and I created a monster, but I've also created a trash talk partner, so it's fun. Like, we wake up and she just running her mouth for no reason. She's probably salty because of all them L's I be giving her in mobile. And that's what's cool though. If you watch that series, that is a very good extension of how our marriage just is. Would you like me to shut up this round?
Yes!
Psych! I can't do it. That's not me. I got that Richard Sherman game. I gotta get in your head. Cause sometimes we vibing, it's cool, it's chill, but sometimes there's beef, but it's not really beef. Like, the funniest thing for us is people are like, yo, they're mad, they gonna get a divorce. Like, no, that's just Tuesday. That's how we get down. And so I'll probably always talk crap to her, because before she's even my wife, it's just like, she's my ninja, she's my best friend. And so I'll probably always have amazing, nice things to say about her, and I'll probably always have some stuff to follow it up with. So I do think we will be old, and you know, doing this motion one day, and we'll still be racing each other, and we might be walking into the grocery store, and I'm gonna beat her, and I'm gonna be like, you trash, cause like, she dope, but she ain't that dope.
So my health journey has been kind of crazy. Almost 7 years of just madness. It really started and took a turn for the worst when I was pregnant with Lavelle. I had way more body pain than I should be experiencing just being pregnant, and a couple weeks before she was born, most of my hair fell out. Like, yeah. Like as if somebody like took some clippers to my head, fell out, which was pretty traumatic. And then with Lyric, it turned like neurological, and I started having like a lot of numbness and like tingling in my arms and my legs, my fingers and my toes. Sometimes I was in so much pain I couldn't walk by myself, and sometimes my legs were so numb I just couldn't function for real. It took a long time, to get my fibromyalgia diagnosis, and like in the midst of all my autoimmune issues, I've had some of the most random things happen to me. Like I've had sepsis, which is a potentially fatal blood infection.
What's going on, y'all? Your boy I Maverick in the building, coming to you live from Presbyterian Hospital. I got Wifey, unfortunately, in the building. Say what up, Wifey.
Hi.
I haven't been uploading videos too long. I wanted to kind of give you guys an update. I told you guys I wouldn't be doing videos for like 2 weeks, a week and a half to 2 weeks. We're kind of going into 3 weeks right now. Was planning on starting videos back this week. Had an unfortunate emergency. Wifey caught a pretty nasty blood infection, but she's in here fighting. She's getting a lot better. So I'm gonna thank you guys in advance. I know I got some really cool subs. We appreciate all the love and the prayers.
Like had to be hospitalized, had an IV pole keeping me alive. I've had a sudden onset of paralysis from the waist down out of nowhere. Spent over a week in the hospital, left with a walker. My legs were like shaking uncontrollably. Like Dion made fun of me and called me Bambi the whole time.
Uh-oh, shout out to Wifey working. Look at my setup in the background. All right, now let's try without the walker. Go. Uh-oh, look at them Bambi legs. Uh-oh. Look at them Bambi legs.
It's been a lot. Now, you know, I've got my fibromyalgia diagnosis, but all of my symptoms don't fit fibromyalgia. My body mimics symptoms of lupus and multiple sclerosis, and multiple sclerosis runs in my family, so that still could be something that I have. But with autoimmune, you have to get more sick for them to figure out what's wrong. You can't just be showing symptoms and they're like, okay, we're gonna start treating this. No, the disease has to completely show its face, and then they'll give you what you need and can help you. So it's scary having autoimmune issues, because you never know. You could like be okay one day, or something could just be lingering and building up in your body, and nobody knows until it really shows its face on the test. And then also, you could have an autoimmune disease, but it's not showing up. It's a hot mess. It's complicated. Most of the time, I'm in a lot of pain and I'm exhausted. No matter how I'm acting, I'm sick every day. That's just what comes with having a chronic illness, and I've embraced it, and I do my best to treat my symptoms as naturally as possible. I don't like taking prescription medication. So the times that I do get put on meds and stuff, it sucks because I don't like taking it. After all the like late nights, like I've spent awake, like crying in pain, like us needing to call 911, all the surgeries that I've had, like endless hours in the ER, days of like living at the hospital, days to weeks of me flaring, like having a whole plan for the day and waking up like, oh crap, I can't move. And Dion has just been by my side like every step of the way. I literally couldn't be married to anybody else. The love that like my husband shows me, like no matter what I'm dealing with or how hot mess I look, like he still loves on me and still tells me I'm pretty and all that jazz. And I couldn't live my life with anybody else. Like he still helps me to feel beautiful and confident when things are happening to my body that are out of my control. Like your skin, your hair, like those are like the main things girls care about, and I have zero control of mine outside of putting on wigs and makeup. So I adore my husband, and I wouldn't trade him for anything or anybody in the world. He has made this health journey so much easier for me than it would have been if I was on my own or with anybody else. Like I just couldn't imagine doing life with anybody but Dion.
So Jazmine loves to stress your boy out, man. Her health journey has been a roller coaster. I think that's the perfect way to describe it. You know, when we first got together, she had no health issues, right? She was healthy, everything was good. And then at one point it just felt like one thing after another, one new symptom after another, one unexplained mystery on numbness, tingling, paralysis, just different things popping up. So many question marks, but almost no answers. And it just kind of went from 0 to 100 out of nowhere. And it's definitely been one of the more difficult things we've gone through in our marriage. But in a really weird way, it's been a blessing. Probably the best analogy I can think of for my perspective on her health is like maybe you're watching a movie of like your favorite superhero and they're in the fight, right? And maybe at that point in the fight, it just maybe even like feels like they're losing, right? Like they're getting slammed down, they're getting punched, uppercut, laser beams, stabbed, shot, whatever it may be, right? And you would just think like, how could someone continue after that? And although it's your favorite superhero, you would understand if they were to just give up and die, or just be like, oh, that's it, I surrender, or like, man, that was too much, I can't get up. It's like you would get that. And when they're at that point, the bad guy comes even further and just kicks them while they're down, and then it's just more like torture at this point, and you're just like, okay, I already thought it was okay for you to wave the white flag. Now I really get it, right? But then they still get up. I'm getting emotional talking about it. And so we're in the movie, right? And you're just watching that your superhero, your favorite superhero, get beat down, but then they just keep getting up, and then somehow they just kind of start to like turn the tide of the fight, and they're just, now they're like winning, or they're, you know, they just came from being down and like seeming like almost all hope was lost, but they're fighting back. And I think that's what inspires me from my wife, is that like we got a lot that we deal with. We got 4 kids, we got a niece that we love and support. We got a lot of family that's close, and we do our best to try and help, and you know, we're always looking to support other people. And of course we got businesses and a large following, and so there's a lot of weight and a lot of stress from a lot of different directions. And then when you throw in having some of the scariest symptoms and some of the scariest names thrown around, and waking up with every part of your body hurting, and just the effect that has on you mentally, but you keep fighting and you don't make excuses, I struggle. And she put such a pressure on me, and people salute me for how hard I am, for how hard I push through adversity and things in my life. And I'm like, if y'all only knew who I'm trying to keep pace with, the stuff I'm doing is easy. And I've been there with her in the moments where we're anxiously waiting to see what doctors got to say, and they come in and we're so hopeful for good news, and it's either no news or bad news, like over and over. Oh, I'm talking not 4 times, not 5 times, I'm talking dozens of times. And again, to just see her get up and fight, and sometimes it's with tears, sometimes it's crying out to God and us both being confused, and sometimes it's faking smiles and all of that. Sometimes there was so many tears before this record button was hit, but she's just so passionate, just being so passionate about the other people on the other side of the camera, and hoping that whatever she's going through could inspire them. Like, that's awesome. And so it'd be very, very understandable if she kind of just shelled up and she played things safe, and she wasn't as positive and inspirational and as transparent as she is. But the fact that she does it, she'll forever be Superwoman to me.
The thing I admire most about my sister and her growth over these years is her strength, man. She's one of the strongest women that I know. She deals with a lot every single day, and she never lets it like sway her. Of course, people have their moments, but for somebody who has as much on her plate as she does, man, that's a strong woman right there. She's always smiling through it, praying through it, reading her word. Like, she doesn't let her situation in life get her down, you know what I mean? So I commend her on her strength through these years, because she could have given up. It could have been a lot worse than what it is now, but she continued to stay faithful to God, and she continues to just be strong. And that's an inspiration, male or female. Like whatever you're going through, God can still bless you, you know what I mean? Like, even if your life seems so bad, even if you're in pain all the time, like, God can still bless you. And I think Jazmine is a walking image of that, to just stay strong, keep your faith in God, and things can still be great. Like, even though she still goes through what she goes through with her sickness and just everyday life problems, like, she is so strong. She doesn't let any of that, you know, dictate her mood too much. And then if it does, she's right back to being happy. Shout out to her, man. I love my sister, and I love all the memories we get to make, even today. And yeah, love you, Jazz.
All right, we done crying, man. Fluff that. So Jazz is dope on her own. She's been awesome. How she's helped me, especially like in our early days of being married, I think the biggest thing is that she just didn't give up on me. What's crazy to me, and I'm still kind of getting used to it, is that like, people will look at, for example, our marriage and be like, man, I want to be a husband like Dion. And then people will look at me as a parent and be like, I want to be a dad like Dion. Or look at me as an entrepreneur, or even just a man in general, and be like, I want to be like Dion. Like, that's still, like, that's very uncomfortable for me still, because I wasn't always like who people see, right? And I still got so far to go. But like, I haven't always been this guy, and I always try to do my best to remind people and tell, so people know the full story. But like, so if you think I'm dope or you think I'm cool, I haven't always been that way. And so, and Jazz knows that. She'll be the first one to tell you that, and she was with me through that. And so I think that's why I appreciate her so much. You know, it's cool that, you know, we teach people about business now, but there was times where I didn't know what I was doing, and sometimes I wonder if I still do. But there was times where I was just trying to figure it out. I was driving a bank account negative. I had crazy ideas. Like, I put us into poverty 100%. I could have played it safe. I could have got a job. I could have, like, we went through so many things that didn't have to happen. And this is even after we started to have kids. And so, if you're from the outside looking in, like, for example, I don't know if I would support my daughter supporting someone like that, because I would be like, hold up, it looked like he's steering y'all to the ground. And so I'm very grateful for her, because there were so many times going through those ups and downs, I wanted to quit. And then so I came to her with this crazy idea, which if my daughters were dating a guy and he had this idea, I probably would look at them and be like, you need to dump that scrub. Forget him. So she's actually dope for this. But I was like, you know what, babe? I'm gonna just go full-time in this marketing. You know, we're doing good with the daycare. I think things will be all right. I'm gonna just make this happen. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna let go of my job so I can have more time to focus on things. And she was like, I believe in you. She didn't have to think about it. There was no hesitation. She was like, I believe in you. Let's do it. And then fast forward like a good year and a half later, right? Or at least a year, like nothing. Nothing's popping off. Nothing. I'm talking. And then it was crazy. It was really weird. I really feel it was God, right? We just started seeing the daycare fall off in these weird ways. Like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? It was weird, like, to how she started losing business with the daycare. So it was, God was like making it really clear that that season was ending. And so, and of course, she could have been like, yo, at this point, we at least had one kid, not the second one yet. And she was like, yo, she could have been like, Negro, okay, you need to take your butt to Safeway, to McDonald's, something just to help with these bills. But, you know, we had very limited money with the daycare, and I was just still grinding. I had this vision. I believed in it, and she was crazy enough to believe in it still. I'm talking, there'd be days I'd be like, babe, I think this is going to work. We're going to invest in this thing. It costs $100, and we got $101 in the bank account. She'd be like, boy, if you say so. We do it, it would fail. Wake up a few days later, our bank account's in the negative $100. And that happened dozens of times over these years of me marketing, right? Because I was marketing even when I was still at my job. So I'm talking, it got bad to the point where I'd come to her in tears in my eyes, like, because that's a real emasculating feeling, like when you're supposed to be providing for your family, but everything you try fails and your account's in the negative, and you're like, but your intentions are good, right?
Supporting my husband as light work. Like, I've known that Dion was going to be innovative and amazing since we really got to know each other in 2007. Like, he's just always been so different and such a visionary, and just well beyond his years. You know, whatever guys his age are doing at the time, he's just light years ahead of them, and he's just always been special. And I fell in love, and it really became a thing. I follow him to the edge of the universe. My favorite thing has always been like, if he wanted to start a chinchilla farm, all right, where we get the chinchillas from? Like, let's get it done. We see things so clearly and we complement each other so well that, like, it's just easy. When he brings stuff to me, I'm like, okay, let's do it. There's really no like one specific answer of why it's like that. I just love my husband, and my idea of being a good wife and a good friend is supporting him. If I feel like he's tripping and it might not be making that much sense, or he might be taking it a little too far, I speak on it. But yeah, when he wanted to quit his job and pursue business, cool. I'm working. We got enough money. You can pay me back. And that's where we're at now. I worked for a while. He made things happen, and now we both get to work from the comfort of our home and reach millions of people on a regular basis. He wants to change the world, and so do I. So as long as we have each other and God at the center, we can do anything. There's no reason not to support him.
Stop! I'm gonna beat 4. Nah, I'm a savage. Look, one hand, I beat you. That's already 10, babe. That's already 10. Oh, I'm upside down with it. Why you such a hater? Let me get a high score. Look, you just beat yourself. Look, back. Look. You see how it goes in her hands, back to the puddle. She's on the road legally. If you see her in the streets, watch out. You see her on the road next to you, go the other way. Hope you guys enjoyed another smacking. You ain't touched my hands. Because your boy a winner. When you win, this is what gotta say. Ow, you beating again. This is a bad episode for you. You want us to go ahead and end this? Let's just end this. This has been a bad episode.